I've been watching a lot of The Middle. This show started out as, kind of just something I was throwing on just because it had this nice charm to it, and I liked the chemistry between the actors, and I did like the writing. I also seen so many clips of it on social media and seen like just a lot of other people talk about how they're such huge fans, and I'm just going through the whole thing. I'm on the last season right now, and I just wanted to point out how amazing the character Sue Heck is. I don't know why, but she is honestly one of my favorite characters in any TV show or movie ever, and honestly kind of saved my life in some ways, in more ways than not, I should say. I really appreciate how she's kind of a reminder. The character is like the personification of that naive, excitable side of ourselves when we're young and teenagers. And she's so innocent, she's such a good person and a good kid that, where she might be like this nerd, and then in the show they play it up that she's this nerd that is forgettable and people make fun of her or whatever. Especially when she gets to college, she just stands out so much because of how childish and immature she is in a lot of ways still. All that reminds me of myself though too. So, and I want to keep bringing that up of how much I just see myself in this character. But she honestly is just so like that innocence that she has, and that wholesome aspect of who she is just lovely to see that. And it's such a nice reminder of how there are people like that. Like they're just like people that are not even, it's not that like they're nerds and they don't get invited to parties. They're just people, and like I felt like everyone when I was in high school personally, even in middle school, I felt like everyone was trying to they were pressing on the gas so hard and trying to be like grown-ups immediately. And it was very weird for me to be with people, and you're like 14 or 15 and people your age are just like getting high and drinking and having sex, doing all this shit that you kind of like, you just picture yourself kind of waiting to get to. Like, I don't know, at that age I just wasn't, I don't know if it's how I was raised or just not really giving into peer pressure and feeling like I had to like really do anything other than be whoever the fuck I wanted to be, but I always felt weird that like a lot of people around me felt like they were trying so hard to grow up so fast, going so fast towards that, like wanting to have those experiences. And I was up until I was like 15 or 16, I was so childish and very much wanted to be a kid, because you literally are a kid still when you're 14 or 15 years old. And that's where I just relate to her, and how I don't want to say how clean she is or whatever, but like how she's such a like straight edge kind of personality. And I'm obviously not now, but like I was until a certain point when I was like 15 or 16, and eventually peer pressure got to me too, and I just started feeling that like oh, everybody else is like doing these things, I guess I should too, whatever the fuck. And I don't know, just Sue is such a lovely reminder of who how I felt at that age, and like a certain part of me that I never want to go away. I mean, Sue Heck to me represents the like most precious, innocent side of ourselves that we should hold on to and should always just have as a reminder of like how like life is fleeting, and these moments are precious. Like it's okay, these precious things just kind of go away at some point. It's good to hold on to things that, like things from our childhood that make us happy. It's good. Like I'll literally show you a fucking textbook example right here. Like this is something that I had when I was literally, like, not this exact copy, they're different copies obviously, but like this is my fucking childhood right here. And I like holding on to that shit. I feel I always get a little, not self-conscious, but I always like wonder if people are gonna like judge me if they see like my fucking gaming shit or whatever the hell. And I could be like a man child in a lot of ways still. Like to this day, I'm 32 and I feel like very fucking, I don't know, you know, just not like not anywhere near on that same level of like adulthood as other people around me. So yeah, I just relate to her so fucking much. I think she is such a lovely, you know, spotlight on the like the good side of having that, like the positive aspects of having of just like, I don't know, conserving that like, I don't want to say pure aspect of who we are, but that childlike nature I'm trying to get to, I guess. That childlike nature of who we all are is something that's very important to hold on to, and something that's really, really lovely to embrace. It's a lovely feeling to embrace things that keep you young. That's a good thing to me. It's good to do anything that keeps you youthful, because that inevitably like it contributes to not only longevity, but just having a better quality of life. Like anything that keeps you young mentally and physically, whatever, as young as you can, at least to a certain point. That's good. So yeah, she's just so wonderful. Anytime I think of her, like anytime I think of the show The Middle, it's like really like her and Mike are so wonderful. All of the characters are, but they and Axel, all of them pretty much, yeah. You know, Frankie even though I did another video talking about like, oh, is she the worst mom ever? Like, she's a great character, and she gets better as now that I'm on the last season. I'm like, oh, okay, she got like a little better. They wrote her character a little more, a little less repetitively as the show went on, which I really appreciate. But for some reason, Sue just stands out to me amongst all of them, because I can't help, like, I cringe at her and it reminds me of myself. I just adore the like excitable nature of that too. You know what I mean? Like being excited about life is so important, and she is the like most perfect example of how everybody should be, honestly. And I think like basically what I'm getting at is, if a lot more people were like Sue Heck, I think a lot of people would be happier, and a lot. She's just a beacon of what it means to really enjoy every aspect of what life has to offer. She's just excited about anything and everything, and it's great, because I feel that way too in a lot of ways. I feel like I'm always excited about a lot of things, and I just want to feel that way all the time. I just want to remain excited about as much as I can, because what is life without excitement? What is life without passion and satisfaction and feeling, you know, happy in that way? As far as like a lot of those things help us feel better about dealing with all this bullshit, you know, dealing with life. If you have that kind of attitude, at least it helps. You know, it helps you handle things a little better. I've realized so much, not only with like watching this show, and I also did another video talking about how like, sitcoms kind of help my negativity, but not only do these shows kind of just overall help me feel better about life in general, but I've realized so much recently how the attitude that we adopt, the mindset that we decide to keep ourselves in, and just like every bit of life really is just like how you choose to perceive it, right? So she's been a wonderful reminder of how I always want to hold on to that bit of my childhood, or that part of myself when I was in my like teens to early 20s or whatever, that I want to keep that, you know, passionate and excited energy for as long as I can. And yeah, she just reminds me of that every time I'm watching it. It's all the characters are so lovely, and I just really can't talk about that enough, how great they all are. But Sue Heck, for some reason, she just is such a wonderful character. For some reason, I don't know, she just really resonated with me, the way they wrote her and the way that they kind of represent a lot of people that are just kind of a certain personality type in that way. I feel completely different now, but when I was a kid, when I was at that age, like, I don't know, 12 or 13, I definitely I felt the opposite. So I felt like a lot more excited about all that shit. So yeah, what am I trying to get at? This is the thing with smoking weed. Yeah. Hey, the actress that plays her, Eden Shear, I believe her name is. She's amazing too. She play all the actors. All those actors have such a lovely chemistry in that show. And yeah, Suhek is a wonderful archetype that more writers and more anybody that writes for TV, at least anybody that's trying to do character work, you can do a whole breakdown of Suhek as a character and how they write her and how consistent her character is, at least, even though she does. It's great seeing her change and kind of come out of her shell and stand up for herself finally to Axel. Like all sorts of things. Like they do make them change, and all the characters do grow a lot actually by the end of the series. So I'm very happy to see that, and I'm grateful for characters like Suhek because they just make me feel very outside of myself, and they're the kind of energy I always like to see. So yeah.